Hello, my Saitama Army. ¿Cómo están, chicos? Espero estén super mega bien, cracks. Vamos arriba porque están en vivo la gente de Saitama respondiendo preguntas. Vamos a empezar a escuchar. Suscríbete, da like, comparte, comenta, activa las notificaciones. Vamos arriba.
I just want to say that, this is why, I came up to ask a question too. This is why I continue to be a part of this community. So thank you, Russ. Also, thank you, Watcher Guru, again for creating the space, and power to the people.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate it. And you can't fight hate with hate, man. You really can't. All you can do is just try to find a better approach. So we'll adapt and overcome like we always have.
Ellos están hablando del hate.
Hey, thank you, Warrior. Appreciate it very much, man.
Y el food que
got time
derraman sobre
probably for one
Saitama
or two more
sin
questions.
ninguna.
So, JB, did you have a question you want to come up and ask?
Yeah, I guess the only question I had is it's kind of a two-part question. So the tokens that are going to be paired with Saitama, and it may have been mentioned earlier, but has the liquidity already been provided for those? Are they planning on doing that when Saitamask launches? And the second part is, what about the tokens that aren't going to be listed anymore? Did they already have their liquidity, and what are they going to do with it?
Yeah,
preguntan sobre la liquidez de los tokens que van a ser listados en las carteras.
The liquidity and the pairings have already been injected and are there. And again, this is the reason the DDoS attack and all that, it doesn't have anything to do with the actual security of the Saitamask and what that looks like for the the infrastructure of the platform and safeguarding tokens and money and all that. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just the login.
La plataforma y todo lo necesario y más de 1,000 personas.
So the LP has already been injected.
Descargado.
6 coins, I believe, that were already on that list. So the LP is there. These guys have already started doing test swaps and all that stuff, so that when shortly after we get everything out the door rolled out smoothly, we can integrate those pairings and options. And again, it's the Saitama and native token pairing. So the LP is already there. And there's a couple that were on there initially that we had removed. They had done the liquidity and they've already been reimbursed that portion. So yeah, it's all been taken care of.
Hey, thanks.
Anonymous, you have your hand up? You can go ahead.
Hey Russ, this is Slim Jesus, and you're going down. Everybody knows it's a pop.
Yeah, so sorry about that, Russ.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a few of those.
Can't help the amateur.
That's it, man. Praveen, do you want to come up and ask a quick question?
Yeah, I've been a holder. You guys can hear me?
Absolutely, man. Can hear you.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Saitama. Thank you, Russ, for coming out and being transparent. I've been a holder since almost the first couple of weeks that Saitama came out, and this is more of a comment and one question towards the end. And I appreciate it, and I've gone through what Saitama has gone through as a holder, and I'm speaking on behalf of a holder, and I've seen the number of attacks from day one when Saitama, just the bots attacks have been, and they have gone through so much adversity to get where they are today. And I think that we should really appreciate Russ and the dev team, Max, Cryptologist, and everybody for really hanging in there and then trying to be as transparent as possible. And that was the whole idea of Russ's dream, and trying to be transparent in this crypto world. And I really appreciate the team. And my question is basically, what in the future? Saitama is a big target in its back, and we know that by now. So, what in the future are we doing to prevent, all these other cyber attacks? Are we going to get a third party to stop this, or at least prevent firewalls and
Yeah, thanks, Doc. I appreciate your comments, and of course your continued support in the project. It means a lot. We got a lot of people that have been around here through everything, right, at the beginning to the end and up till now. and the amount of adversity that we've had to overcome, it's obvious, but, there's a lot of people that are passionate and see the bigger picture in the future and what we're trying to do. So to kind of answer your question as far as what we plan on doing, the target that Saitama has on its back is pretty big. We have a couple different ways, and there's two parts to this that we plan on approaching it. The first part being the cyber attack portions and how we plan on, mitigating that. We've brought in third parties, of course, through AWS to have, these mitigated, and they're already in place. They're already operating, and that part is done and completed. So we don't have to worry about that moving forward. Now, like I said, it's just kind of cleaning up the mess. As far as the other attacks that we have seen prior to Saitamask launching through trademark issues through the CMC, we have a tremendous legal team that is full of a lot of very, very reputable attorneys throughout the United States that we have working day and night behind the scenes to come with solutions. And it's really tough because these things are all open investigations at this point, so I can't really divulge any of the information regarding that. But the plan is, of course, to kind of start smacking some fingers with rulers and put it out there to know that we're not ones to be messed with anymore. So we've kind of, taken it in back a few times, and we're in the process of, mitigating that and letting people know that, hey, we are a big company and that we do have the resources available to fight back, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So it'll all be done soon, and I can't really put a lot of details on that as it's an ongoing investigation, but you guys will all find out soon enough.
Well, thank you again, Watcher Guru AMA, for this AMA and Saitama Guru. And I've been on Twitter and I've been watching all the back and forth, and I've even posted. It's the irony of it, because I've posted about Gandhi and all the nonviolence and being hit from all directions, and MLK. And it's ironic that tomorrow's going to be MLK Day, so or soon enough. So thank you, Watcher Guru, for this giving this platform.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you for coming up.
Awesome. And I just wanted to as you mentioned, the MLK, and I'm not trying to put us in that same category by any means, because what he did for for this nation is unprecedented. But look at all the true leaders and the things in the past that we've done, and what they've accomplished and the adversity that they've had to overcome, with the Lincoln and the MLKs, and everybody that's made true statements, throughout the world, and throughout our generations, they all had to come over, overcome adversity. So when you're trying to do something proactive and you're trying to recreate a space and you're doing something for the people in the community to make it better, you're going to get some pushback, right? You're going to get some adversity. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If it's something that's difficult and provides some sort of pushback, most of the time people are like, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to throw the towel in. That's never been our mentality, right? If we were going to do that, we would have done it months ago when we had our first obviously coordinated attack. We would have just thrown in the towel. Like, this isn't for us. We're getting way too much pushback. It's way too much trouble than it's worth. That's never been our mentality ever. And if anything, it's motivated us to be, perform harder, to push more, to work more, to put in more time, to kind of thrive for better, and know that the impact that we're making is going to be something that's going to be long term, and look back at it and go, wow, look at all the things these guys had to do to get to where they are. And like I said, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Absolutely, man. Let's take one more question, and then we can move over to some ending statements. So, Classy Crypto, did you have a question you want to ask?
Hey, Matt. Yeah, I do have a question for Saitama Guru. I had two questions, but since we have time for one, I'm going to go ahead and first preface all of this by saying that, I'm actively a content creator for Saitama, and I've been trying to bridge the gap in terms of going ahead and getting into contact with the development team so we can have some form of dialogue and talk about what's going on in terms of updates, in case maybe we miss something or in case something happens. I think a bridge between that would be great. But on top of that, I'd like to go ahead and commend you for going ahead and having all of these AMAs with Watcher Guru, with everybody else that's coming. I think David Gockstein went ahead and said that he wants to do one with you as well. But that's exactly what I've been saying on my YouTube channel. People are saying that you're not being transparent enough, but I think that you're doing a great job. You've been doing everything that a COO has to do to ensure its investors. And you even said when your token was smaller that you went ahead and talked to everybody individually to make sure that they trusted you. And I believe that 100%, because that's what everybody that starts something that they love does. So, I mean, keep doing what you're doing. I think that, having a line of communication between us both, maybe with even like Jake Gagan, Austin Hilton, Zach, all the big boys that are covering your token would be great. And I think that would be serving the public justice, right? So we can go ahead and get the best form of information out there for y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate the input, and that's something we'll definitely have to try to look for. And we do our weekly AMAs, which is helpful. Sometimes we can't due to scheduling conflicts, and I travel a lot, and just whatever else the development team is working on sometimes. But we try to, and that's something that we've actually done since day one. Is weekly AMAs, and people say, oh, you're not transparent enough. Back in the day, and I can say back in the day, even though it was only 8 months ago, in digital time frame, that's like 10 years, it's like a decade. So our very first AMA was through a live video feed, and people that were new investors to Saitama, I think there's only like 30 people in the entire group, where we did a live stream video through Zoom. And people were like, wait, who are you guys? Like, no, we're the actual developers. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, no, really, what do you guys understand? Like, no, we are the developers of this coin. I'm like, well, why are you showing your face? Because that was our premise from the beginning, because we wanted to be transparent. I don't use a fake name. I don't use a fake alias. That's my birth name. Everybody else that you see, that's our God-given name, and we use it. And we've been out there with our face, and we put our reputations out there. We put our information out there. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's there. And we want to be transparent, and if people don't understand the waves that creates, and as we get larger now, I think about my family. I'm a family man. What does that do to my wife and my kids? Go to school one day. We're 1 million plus holders. My son goes to school and he's like, oh, I know your dad. I see him on TV. These are the risks that we knew ahead of time going into it, and we wanted to change the space and create that transparency and remove that wall to build trust. So yeah, I'm with you, and people are like, oh, you're not transparent enough. Like, I really don't know how we could be any more transparent. Like, I could say my favorite food is Italian food. I mean, that's really the only secret I have up until this point, right? So we're out there in front of everybody all the time. And not because we're trying to be pushy Tupperware salesmen, but because we're passionate about what we do, and we want people to understand and see that passion and see the vision that we have and the amount of work and energy that we have and you put into it. And even now, I'm big into philanthropy. I do a lot of stuff in the community. I'm always traveling, and I'm always doing things through other parts of the community and building people up and trying to spread the Saitama name and the brand out there. And it's not about, and it's something that you get behind when you're really passionate about something and it's for a good cause. It doesn't take much, and you want to do whatever you can to get it out there. And it doesn't mean if you're talking to somebody at the bus stop, somebody in the line at the grocery store, or on a YouTube live feed, or through, Watch Your Guru AMA on Twitter Space, thousands of people. You want everybody to know it. You can get on top of a mountain and scream as loud as you can that you're passionate about this and you want them to know something about Saitama. So we got to utilize every avenue that we can. And if that means coming onto a Twitter Space once a day, or, back when we first started, I think I was doing live stream YouTube things on different people's platforms 2-3 times a day. And not, people that have 1 million followers. I was doing it with everybody. A lot of these guys, some of these ones that you mentioned, like Jake, he's been helping us for a long time, and he didn't have as many followers and subscribers as he has today, but we were on his channel all the time. All these other people that came up to the smaller YouTube folks, people that were in the community that just started their YouTube platform. Like the one guy that we had started, months ago, he just started. I was like his very first subscriber, and I agreed to come on and do a live YouTube stream on his channel. And he had less than 1,000 subscribers. I don't care about how many subscribers you have. If it helps reach one person or 10 people, then that's what we're going to do. And that's been our motivation the entire time, and which has helped us along the way. It may not made a huge difference that day, but long term, collectively, it made all the difference.
Well, thank you for that, Russ. We really appreciate your time, man. I know it's very valuable. And I know we said we were only going to keep you guys up here for an hour. So thank you again for taking the time to field these questions. Myself, I'm personally really impressed by your transparency and willingness to answer these questions in front of the community. So to start to wrap it up, do you have any closing statements for our listeners and that you might want to add for those that are not involved in Saitama? And what are some good reasons to get involved in the project?
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I appreciate it. I could stay on here and talk with you guys all day. I love talking to the community, and I'm a huge fan of crypto, right? Regardless if I was a developer for Saitama or not, I would still be a crypto investor because I believe in it and I believe where it's going. I see the value. I have a business and finance background. I've been in the space. I know what it's like. I know where it's going. You know, it reminds me a lot of kind of like the .com era. It gives me that same kind of fuzzy, strange feeling almost, right? Whereas you can see the change and it's inevitable. So crypto's there, man. Blockchain development, you know, traditional fiat's going to be a thing of the past very, very soon. It's just a matter of regulations and taxation. I think we'll see cryptocurrency being adopted on a massive scale here in 2022. So the Saitama is going to be at the precedence of that. We're changing the space already dynamically, and as we grow and offer different pillars within the community and the company, you know, we're going to be a big player. And being that, you know, we are as transparent as we are, that's almost the norm now. I see a lot of the time now where you have new coins coming out where you almost have to be doxed now, where people are like, hey, if you're not doxed, I'm not going to invest in your company. If you're not doxed or transparent, then I'm not going to invest in your coin. Or if they are, it's not something that they want to do long term. They're just, you know, day trading, swing trading, or what have you. So, you know, we have made huge leaps and bounds in transparency in crypto in general, and we'll continue to do so and set that bar as high as we possibly can, because that should be the norm. You know, people earn their money very hard and they work hard for it. You know, it's an obligation. You have to be able to take care of these people. And, you know, we take it very seriously. And we take it very personally, and we're not just a group of guys that decided to hang out in our parents' basement and throw together a crypto coin. Like, we are very professional, we're very reputable.
Que por eso vengan a Criptoker, su canal de actualidades, vengan a informarse y hacer todo lo que tienen que hacer, suscribiéndose, dando like, compartiendo, comentando y bajando al link de la descripción para que estén con nosotros en nuestro grupo de ROYALQ con más de $33,000 en el bote y usted está seco todavía. Así que vamos arriba, mi gente. Criptoker los deja. Bye, chicos, hasta la próxima.